Welcome to the Wheel of Gundam. In this series, we're going to spin a wheel full of Gundam archetypes, build a deck, and then take it to Mobile Suit Arena and battle other players. If you haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the notif bell. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and spin that wheel. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first inaugural episode of the Wheel of Gundam. Like I mentioned in the intro, at least hopefully I did it right, we are going to be spinning this wheel of Gundam archetypes from the GUNDAMTCG. We're going to be building a deck from this and then taking it to MSA and playing it. And there's a lot of cool, just archetypes in here. Like we have Tekkadan. We have the white base team. We also have CB/G and Drive. That'll be a fun one to play. I will say I have been kind of like testing this wheel. I think it's actually been like pretty cool. There are some that are like, I hope that I don't get like a Cyclops team and low-key civilian. Not really. Well, okay. Some of these, like by themselves, are like but if you pair them with some other things, then they could actually like be really good. I think low-key Earth Alliance and maybe Earth Federation are probably some of the better ones, but let's see. But if you haven't already, please definitely like and subscribe to the channel, where I'll be posting more video content like this. I'll also be posting some of my videos of me doing or me like streaming and stuff of that nature, like post stream, like vlogs per se. So yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and spin this wheel. Hopefully we get something good. Let's see. And Tekkadan. Tekkadan, nice. Okay. So that's gonna be the first one. Let me show you guys what all Tekkadan has to our disposal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the official GUNDAMTCG website, and we're just kind of seeing like what all Tekkadan has at our disposal to build this deck. So with this recent set that came out, well, as time of recording this video, I believe that set came out on the 30th, so it was pretty like at least like 4 days ago from the time of recording, and it brought a lot of stuff to the table. So like the main pilot that we'll probably be playing, if I can find the boy, yeah, the Mikazuki August. Anytime we like pair this guy with just like anything, we could choose one of our units and an enemy unit and deal a damage to both of them. So we kind of have that little bit of like ping element to it. Also, we have a little 2-1 weenie, so hopefully we can kind of create something that can, maybe we can build like an aggro deck to this essentially. I'm very happy that we get to use Gundam Barbatos First Form. I'm a big fan of this card. I played this card and this deck a lot in the GDO2 format. Anytime that this unit is damaged, or if this unit is damaged, every time this guy attacks, you get to draw a card, so that's really good. But we also have some other kind of like support in terms of the where's my guy at? There's Gundam. Is Gundam Goose? Oh, I saw him. Hold up. There you go. Gundam Goose John Rebake. It is a blocker. It also has essentially the same effect that Mikazuki has. We also have access to the Akihiro pilot, which I'm not sure if we will potentially use, but that could be definitely something that could be at our disposal. And like I mentioned, we also have some of the newer cards that came out from this set. I think I'll definitely probably be using this Gundam Barbatos First Form, or Gundam Barbatos Adapt. It has a lot of just like ping elements and stuff of that nature. Also, Gundam Gushan Rebake City might be in consideration, just because we can kind of like rest certain things, and it's also an additional blocker. And then most likely, depending on how the deck goes, I might use Gundam Barbatos Lupus. You get to choose 3 Tekkadan or Toei's units. You get to exile them from the game and pick an enemy unit and deal 2 damage to it. So that's going to be awesome. So yeah, that's kind of what some of the cards that we have to our disposal. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel again and see what we get. All right, back on the wheel. Let's spin it for the second time. So we have Tekkadan for the first one, and Maganec Corpse? Huh. I mean, I guess fair enough. I guess. Let's go ahead and, yeah, just see what that has to offer, essentially. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, as you can see, in terms of Maganec's Corpse cards, this is it. This is it. Unless if I I mean, I'm using the official website, so I click Maganec's trait. This is all that we have. I will say the cool thing that we do have to our disposal is, in fact, the underground desert base. Yeah, that's a really good card. But outside of that, it's 2 3s, 3 2s, a 3/3, and then this guy, which you can choose a unit that's level 4 or higher during this turn. It may choose an active enemy unit with 6 or less attack as its attack target. So we might dabble into this a bit. Yeah, let's go ahead and go on to our deck builder and try to craft a deck. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of what I came up with as the initial deck for today's video. So this is our Tekkadan Maganec's Corpse deck. It kind of it seems like we can kind of play anything and almost anything at each turn, which I kind of like about this deck. So we do have our initial small winnie guys, essentially. We got the Grace Custom, we got the Maganec that's a level 2 that can be potentially played on our first turn. A good way to get rid of early bases. We also have the Rasid Karama. So this card is cool because it's main in action. You get to choose a unit that is level 4 or higher during this turn, and it may choose an enemy unit with 6 or less attack as its attack target. I'm not sure how much that might come up. This might just be just the link to one of these two guys. I will say I am a fan of this card. On attacking, if you are attacking an enemy unit, this gets +2 during the battle. So essentially, if you have the link with it, it essentially becomes a 4/4. So that's pretty good. A 4/4 beating into something. Outside of that, it's just a body that's just swinging for 2. But then we also have our kind of our main, I guess the main Tekkadan core. You know, we have Gundam Barbados First Form, like I mentioned before. Every time it attacks, if it has damage on it, you get to draw a card. And then Gundam Barbados Adapt also gets to ping certain things. So we can potentially ping some things, use this to beat into our opponent's active stuff, so that could be pretty cool. We also have the 2 rebakes. We have the main Gundam Gusion rebake that is kind of seen in a lot of Blurple decks or just anything that plays. This is essentially the main purple stuff, essentially. And then we have the Gundam Gusion Rebake City, which it has blocker. Then during your turn, once returned during your turn, when one of your Tekkadan or Toei's units receives effect damage, you can choose a level or an enemy unit that's level 4 or lower and rest it. So this will be really good against blockers if we find them kind of annoying, so that we can beat into stuff. Or we could essentially just rest our opponent's stuff so we can beat into it themselves. So this card and this card might pair up together essentially, and could potentially make some cool synergies and stuff of that nature. I am playing the one-off Gundam Barbados 4th Form. It also pings certain things, but it also has suppression, and that's going to kind of help with whittling our opponent down, essentially. Then we have the Gundam Barbados Lupus. This is kind of our secondary boss monster in a way, because especially if we get those Tekkadan units in our trash, we can do a bunch of ping damage to a bunch of our opponent's things. And then with the Acro Hero Atlan, during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, you can choose a Tekkadan unit card that's level 2 or lower from your trash and add it to your hand. So if necessary, we could use that to grab Gray's custom back. And then we have our Mikazuki August, which I mentioned earlier. Now with Iron and Blood is interesting. You get to choose one of your units, deal a damage to it, but then it gets +3 attack during the turn. So we can kind of use this like offensively and defensively. Like for example, if maybe like our opponent plays Ailstrike Gundam, gives one of our units -2, and then like they try to like beat into it, we can actually ping our stuff first and give it like that damage and maybe even like trade with something like that. Or for example, you know, if our opponent has like a base and we have Gray's custom, we can use with Iron and Blood, ping their Grays, and then Grays will just clear that base essentially. We're also playing Fatal Strike. We get to choose an enemy unit that's level 3 or lower and destroy it as its main effect. But if it comes out in our shields, we get to just ping one of our opponent's things for damage. So it's a lot of ping and kind of like board control. This is a very board control like type of deck essentially. And then last but not least, we have Underground Desert Base, which it doesn't really do anything outside of just it being a base that has 6 shields or 6 health. So yeah, that's essentially the deck. Let's go ahead and take it to MSA and try it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are playing our Tekkadan Maganec Corp deck. We are going first. Hopefully you guys can kind of see the cards essentially. If not, I can make some quick adjustments and stuff of that nature. I will say I am going to keep this hand. And then yeah, if you guys can't see it, let me make some adjustments real quick. All right, hopefully that fixed certain things. Yeah, our beginning hand is actually like not bad. We do have the turn 1 body to play. We also have this guy. I mean, we have a play for like everything essentially. Like turn 1 play this guy, maybe the base. Turn 2 play this. Or I guess our turn 2. Ooh, okay. So I'll play this for now. I'm not gonna play this because we're kind of just chilling. So we'll pass. But yeah, and then next turn we can play this guy, depending on what our opponent does, and then next turn we can kind of just do some shenanigans with this. So I'm kind of excited. Hopefully we can draw some more cards, do some more stuff. Ooh. So it seems like we're playing against CB, which CB is, I mean, a really good deck, to say the least. Okay, so let's go ahead and swing. We'll do that. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna hold this. If these two trade, that should be okay. Yeah, and I'll just play this and pass. Now I know our opponent's probably gonna be confused, like what the heck is, what is this doing here? But yeah, also I forgot to mention the deck builder that I used previously. That was on what's it called? Eggmanevents.com. Shout out to Eggman. He does a lot of things like Bandai card game related, and he created a deck builder that he let just everybody use for free essentially. So I greatly appreciate it. If you would like to build a deck of your own, definitely I will try to put the link to his deck builder in the comments of this. Ooh, okay, so he paired with a lock on. Oh, he's not gonna be happy after I do this. Yeah. So sadly, I'm gonna have to ping my guy. Yeah, and then we're trading. So I hope he plays something else. Damn. Okay. So I wanted him to play something else so I could do the play. But that's okay. For now, we'll just clear the base. I can still do the thing that I wanted to do, but it'll just be if he is playing, so okay, wait, it was, so yeah, so he is playing just straight like pure CB essentially. He has something in his hand. I don't know what that was per se. We're gonna go ahead and play our underground base just to get a little card draw going. Wow, okay. See, I could be aggressive, but I feel like he would just kill my thing afterwards, so I'm actually just gonna pass. But I'd like to get like some card draw going with this. Because I could clear like the base, but then he would just like, or they, I guess, they would probably play like, they could have the Setsuna pair, or the GUNDAMTCG Setsuna pair and just like murk something. Okay, so we have this going on. The Gundam Dynamics. I probably would have like just held that for the next turn. Because he could have just like, unless if he has it in hand. I mean, if he has it in hand, then I guess. I don't know. I really don't know. So go ahead. Alright, so we'll go ahead and swing. Yep, get some good old. Okay, that was our weenie. So we're doing pretty good for now. Now I could be defensive. Also, I have, dude, this is insane. Okay. So I'm thinking, because if I play this guy and pair it with this guy, he could just like swing into it. But I also need some card draw. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So we'll do the dope pair. Ping those two. We'll swing at shields and get a card draw. That's interesting. And sadly, we have to pass. So what he's probably going to do, low-key, is he's going to swing this guy into this guy, and then maybe play something else. Unless he has some tricks up his sleeve, then that could also be a thing. Okay. And yep, so yeah, this card is pretty good. I remember playing this in the starter deck event. And you get to mill the top two cards of your deck, place a CB card. If a CB card was milled, you get to draw a card. And I think he has, oh, okay, so he only has 6, so he doesn't necessarily get the specific effect. Ooh, he's going at shields, okay. I mean, that's fine. And then I would just like do this probably. If they are thinking, they could also do this, which I'm also fine with. Yeah, they go ahead and do that. That just makes the most sense. And they get the breach. Ooh, but we get the Akihiro. Okay. I'm gonna get a level 2 or lower Tekkadan unit. Okay, that's fair. This is actually kind of crazy work, I'm not gonna lie. Let's swing here. If he has the card, if he has the card that I'm thinking of, that we could kind of benefit from that in a way. He does, okay. So we're gonna swing in here. I'm so fine with that because I was actually thinking about doing that. So then we'll go here. Sadly, we have to do that. But then we get to do this. And then I get to use this guy to beat into him. Not using this. Yep, and I get to add my guy back to hand and then play it. Hello. Pass turn. Alright, so we do have 4 shields. They also have 4 shields, so we are essentially kind of in the mid game right now. I would like to see... Ooh, okay. So they're playing... Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. Alright, fair enough. So they get the swing for 2. Oh, this is perfect. I'm so glad that happened. Okay. So sadly, he gets to do his ability. Does he get to do it? Ooh, he doesn't get to do the ability. Okay. So yeah, no, I will say this GUNDAMTCG Trans Am is... Dog, hello? Where am I? Okay. So this is what's gonna have to happen. We're gonna have to do this. I'll ping this guy to ping that guy. Then I can do this. Ping this guy to ping this guy. Beat into that guy. It's only my turn, okay. Skip. So that happens. Then I think we just have to... I don't think he has another, like, link unit. So we're gonna do this and swing. Just to kind of be a little bit aggressive. That might not have been the optimal play, I will say, but just for, like... For the time being. Ooh, they play... They got the base going on, okay. So they got their base going on. Chat, we're gonna get our base going on. Wow, insane. Okay. Yeah, I am kind of learning that card draw in this deck is very scarce. So, but let's see what our opponent does. They do have 6 cards in hand, so, ooh, okay, so they play the blocker. And they got Tierra, so they could trade, but no, they're just going straight at base. They're being very aggressive. Okay. And you know, that's fine. That is fine. So now we gotta have to figure out what they plan to do now. I'm hoping that I could get a specific card. Not the card I was looking for, but it can be useful. So we could go ahead and do... Yes, we can go do this. Yeah, so we'll play this. Ping and ping. Since that's 4, I will swing at this guy. I'll skip this, beat into that guy. I will take the boy, thank you. Like a little recycling chat, you feel me? They do get a draw, but I mean, that kind of just gets that body out of there. We'll do this, we'll do that. Pair it with the boy. And then, yeah, and that's pretty much it. So now we just got to see what our opponent does. Ooh, okay, so they spend the 2 to get rid of one of our guys. I mean, that's fine. I don't... Like, that didn't really do too much. Okay, they got the Exia. But I doubt that they have the pilot. Unless they just have everything, chat. If they have everything, then it is what it is. It really is what it is. Okay. So now, can we capitalize from this? Can I get something? Interesting. Interessante. So I could, I mean, it'd have to be, yeah, so we'll play this. We'll pair it with this guy. So now we have a 3-4. we'll do that. And I'm going to keep this guy here just so that we can have a blocker. Because we're at 6 HP, they don't have, I mean, they're not playing blue, so we're not worried about armor row or anything like that. Now I will say, I mean, if they have like, I mean, there are 5 cards unknown. He could potentially swarm the board. He also needs to like low-key deal with my board, because I could potentially also have game. Okay, so they have this. Now they still have 5 cards in hand. Them having another base is kind of tough. But if we can find some stuff, chat, we can find some stuff. Okay, so they do play that. Fair enough, fair enough. And they have the guy, okay. Yeah, so this is we're very in a tough situation. They are going to swing. They take out my guy if I do this, so I'm going to skip blocking. So they'll swing. It's another weenie. That's pretty cool. Alright, well, what else do you have? So 2 for that. Okay, so essentially they have 2 blockers out, so that's kind of tough, actually. But I kind of have an idea. It might not be the best idea, chat, but I do have an idea. So they're swinging. I mean, I have to block. We still have 2 HP left. And I'm assuming... Oh, wow. GG to my opponent. Yeah, that's tough. I wish they would have like played faster if they had that, but maybe they're a new player, so that it is what it is. We just have to we kind of just have to take the L on that one. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for that weird cut. I guess MSA kind of like just shut down for a second and then came back up. But we are continuing with our Maganec deck, or Maganec Tekkadan deck, and our hand, I'll mulligan. I guess that'll be all right. That'll be all right. We'll just have to see. So we are going second, so that's pretty nice, especially for this hand. We do have the Fatal Strike, so that could help. This is nice to have. I don't think I'm gonna like do that yet. Not about the full send on that quite yet. But yeah, we'll just. I'm sorry. Hello. Ooh, Hizak. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes the like the pictures doesn't work out the best, but that's fine. I mean, we have this 3/3 to check this. If I guess we're not really too worried if they swing, cause like we do have the Fatal Strike. Ooh, they end turn. Okay. So this is kind of what I want to do, chat. I want to pair this guy right. Swing, play this, yeah. So I'm gonna pair with this pilot. I'm doing that so if he decided to like swing here into this guy, then he couldn't essentially like ping into it. But again, we don't necessarily know fully what this guy is playing. And we'll just play this card and see what our opponent does. Ooh, okay, so it's red-blue. Yeah, I definitely like played right into that. But that's okay, because whatever they play will get dealt with. So they do swing into this guy. We still live though. Unless they just play like 2 ping things, which they do. Okay. So we are definitely playing against some type of aggro deck. I will say, ooh, this is a little weird. But I think sadly we go here. We'll ping this to ping that. And then we just gotta pass and just see what they do. We can also be a little cheeky this upcoming turn. Ooh, they play. Okay, so this is essentially the Cyber New type deck. And then they just do that. Okay. So this is where. So I got 4 cards in hand. I think what I do, chat, is this. I think we kind of just like wall up. Yeah, we'll do that to at least get rid of a body. Give me this. Ah, that's nice. Okay. That's very nice. Ooh, when they play Masala. Yeah, this card is low-key been annoying. So yeah, I guess if I do that, then that's just tough, you know. We could do that. I will play this to get rid of at least one of these. And then we'll just be like, hey, what you gonna do, brother? This guy also has a repair, which is kind of sus. Okay, so he plays a Show of Resolve, gets to draw 2. They have more cards in hand than I do, so yeah, that's something. They're probably trying to look for the pair to like try to get rid of this guy. Ooh, they do play Corsica. That's interesting. I will say this new GDO3 set has just added on to a lot of strategies, created a bunch of new strategies, but also like, I mean, this strategy right here has been out since like, I think like the first like GDO1 essentially. But now with the Masala, that also adds to like the defense essentially. So yeah, so we'll just see what. Ooh, okay. So he does play that. That's very interesting. Okay, so he does ping all of my guys. He is gonna swing at base. He is gonna get rid of my guy. Do I get rid of his guy though? Yeah, I think I do. I think I can. All right, let's see what we get in our next draw. Okay, so. Ooh, okay, so I can't do both of this on the same turn. Just really don't need to. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to swing at that guy. It's not gonna block, which is fine. And I'll play this. I'll play this to deal with this. Sadly, I'm gonna have to ping my guy to do that. And then I have to force him to use his blocker. Oh, but he doesn't. Okay. I mean, that's fine also. Yeah, I will say our hand is yeah, I wish we had some type of card draw, but that's okay. That's just part of these videos, you feel me? But I think we built like a pretty decent deck. We could have gotten something better than Maganec, but I think it was, this deck seems pretty cool. So he's gonna try to trade here. I'll attempt to block it. That's probably not the best move, but it kind of just forces him to like use more of his resources in order to get rid of this guy. So he could just like go like a 1-for-1 here. Okay, so he plays the Kshatriya Besarung. Ooh, yeah, and it has repair. So if he has Marita Cruz, that'll be pretty good. So he's swinging. He's probably, yeah. But he can't play another one, so that's also pretty good. Ooh. Yeah, I will say, Buddy over here has everything. Yeah, so we can't really play too much. We can only just do this. Try to beat down the base as much as we can. And we'll just see how that goes afterwards. Throw pass. Yeah, and I will say we are in top deck mode, so, and that's not usually a good sign, especially when our opponent has just like every card at their disposal. All right, fair enough. Yeah, so they're definitely gonna do that. Yo, this kinda sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna just block this to get rid of their boy. And then he could just use one of these to take this guy out. Or I guess he could do that just to get rid of the repair. I would have just got rid of the... Yeah, that was kind of a... I don't know. If I was my opponent there, I would have just swung one of these at the guy. Swung those two to get rid of base. Because now I still have a base, but... I mean, also, to be fair, they also just have, like, a bunch of guys on the board, so it is what it is. Alright, what do we have? Ooh. I will play this. Sure, let's go. Bop, bop, bop. What do we do 2 damage to? Let's get rid of this guy. Bop, bop, bop. Let's get rid of this guy. And yeah. Yeah, I will say this card is like, it's pretty cool, especially late game. I think low key chat, we're probably just chalked. It seems like our opponent just has like all the necessary stuff they need to kind of secure this game, but we will play this out just in case if by some miracle we happen to get out of this. Okay, so he gets to clear base. Surprisingly, it doesn't use the effect to rest this guy. Oh, but he's not the same level, that's why. Okay, so we got rid of the base. Yeah, they would just have to kind of clear bodies. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. Not going to lie, Bob. And then play this. And then sadly pass and maybe hope for something else. Something to give us a little ping. Wow. Yeah, Buddy just has all the stuff. So he's gonna swing here. Alright, then he's probably gonna swing these two and probably just play his whole hand out. He swings. Fatal strike. Just to make sure the body isn't there. We don't really have anything to deal with this 7/7 quite yet. And if we had played another Lupus, that might be like helpful. Oh, okay, there's Mikazuki. And then they end. Interesting. So we draw. So we will play this. Play this. We will ping ourselves in that guy. I think we just swing and draw. Wow. Okay. I actually could have got rid of that guy. That's crazy. So for the time being, we'll play this. We'll ping this guy and then this guy. So if he does decide to trade into here, he's gonna have a hard time doing that. But he does have now 4 unknown cards, so he could use that to kind of, I mean, he might, who knows, he might have another close combat or something. Like, I will say, wow, he ended? Gets the repair. I mean, okay, let me draw cards. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take that. Wow, okay. So he's gonna get rid of this guy. Yeah. Do I swing here? I think he's, depending on what he does, he might just rest my guy anyway. I mean, but we also lose a guy, so I'm gonna go ahead and just end. And if he gets rid of my guy, then that's just, it is what it is. Yeah, also Buddy just has, wow, okay, yeah. Yeah, he has us at the lock, chat, I'm not gonna lie. So he swings here. He's not gonna swing, or he's gonna swing this guy into here. Yeah. That just makes, like, it makes sense, but also, like, he didn't really need to do that. Okay. I mean, I will play this just to see what card we get. We got this. And then we'll just end. Yeah, I probably should have swung there. He would have, like, killed it. Then, I guess, play this. Try to go for... Oof, yeah. So Buddy just has game here. We'll go ahead and concede. Yeah, that's tough. That was a tough one, chat. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last game that we play today with our Maganec Corp and Tekkadan deck. I'm gonna keep this. Cause we have a turn 1, we have a turn 2. Our turn 3 and 4 is a little sus, but we have something to kind of like go off with essentially. But yeah, I will say I've been kind of, even though we've been getting obliterated this video, but I don't know, I've been kind of enjoying this a little, like not the beatings, of course, but I have been enjoying the aspect of, ooh, okay, so we're playing against a blocker deck, ooh. Which, I mean, is fine, you know, it is just one of those things. We will, I mean, I could do this, but nah. So we'll do this for now. Okay, I would like, dude, Gundam Adept on the top. That would go crazy. Okay, yeah, I mean, fair. I can do something funny. I'll do the funny play. Let's go here. We'll go pop for pop. We'll go here. We'll go pop for pop. We'll go here. He's going to trade into this. Yeah, I figured. And then we hit Buddy for 4. Alright, I think in hindsight, maybe... I think we could have probably distributed some of the units a little bit differently. Oh yeah, Buddy is... I think this is probably Wing Zero. Yeah, Buddy is just going all in on, like, this, per se. Oh, we do have the Lupus. That ain't bad. Alright, so let's go here. I actually got rid of the token, okay. I mean, I guess that also makes sense. Let's go here. I'll go with this for this. And then I'll go a little aggro. Yeah, choosing not to block, gets rid of that. Alright, and now I think they pass. Yeah. And I probably didn't play that optimally, but this is kind of like, I don't know, the way I think about Gundam is just like, this is just the playbook that we have essentially. So we can't really like do too much essentially. I mean, I'll swing. I murk any of these. Unless if he has something. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Because he just links -2s. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a point to play anything. That's just unfortunate. Also, where's my Fatal Strikes at, bro? Please. Like, hello? Okay, I know why they did this. That's still a little weird to me. They could have just did it and like not attacked, but okay. Yeah, and then they have wing. Yeah. Okay, draw. If we had just one more, dude. Let's go here and here and attempt to beat over this guy. And then we can get our weenie back. And how many things do we have in here? I only have 2, so that's terrible. Yeah, Buddy is just... See, like, okay, this is just, let me get my soapbox just real quick, chat. Like, why not just, like, at least swing with this guy? Like, you're just being, like, toxic at this point. Damn. Yeah, we don't have a lot to really go on, chat. I'll just play a bunch of these. See what our opponent does, I guess. He might go this guy into here, which I'm so fine with. Unless if he has, I mean, he could just like... Okay, yeah, that's fine. He gets rid of the base. He's gonna swing this guy into one of these. Hopefully this guy. Wow. I guess, yeah, that's definitely a play. Yeah. And I will say, like, I guess technically in this video, I'm definitely getting murked by a bunch of starter decks. Like, why wouldn't you, what? Okay. I mean, I guess fair. That also just doesn't make sense to me, but, I mean, I'm not my opponent, and he clearly knows what he's doing, because his board state is a lot better than mine. I will take that base, thank you. And then he swings into this base. Okay. So this is tough in some ways. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, so I could use this. I mean, I can kind of clear some things. But also having that card draw is gonna be nice. He is also at like 8, so he could just like murk my board depending on what he does. So I can play this, get rid of this. And I guess essentially murk this guy. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Activate this to get rid of that guy. Pair this with this guy. We'll go. I guess we'll go this for this. I have to hit this. Sadly. And then we, or not trade, but we swing into this. And then sadly, chat, we have to pass. Like, it's tough. It's so tough, but that's all right. I do have 4 cards in hand. They play another guy, another blocker. Yeah, this is just tough. And then you just pass, okay. See, I would just be like, I don't know. This is very weird behavior for me. I guess I'll swing. They do that. They also do have game on board, so it's also just, it's a really hard life out here, chat. It's a really hard knock life, but that's all right. Okay. I mean, he could just like swing. Why is this guy not swinging? Bro, this is so sus. I think he just wants to play Wing Zero and just play like everything, which is like just weird. Sure, let's go ahead. Play that. Swing. He's probably gonna get rid of one of these two. Yeah. And I'm not gonna play the other card because I don't want to give him the satisfaction. So, yeah, he could have won like last turn, but he's just BMing for some reason. Like he could have swung with all four of these guys. Yep, there's one. There's two. Three. And then just swing with this guy. Yeah, see chat, he just wants to be toxic. He just wants to be toxic. We'll go ahead and concede. Yeah, if anybody plays against a person like that, dude, just like, people like that don't deserve to play in certain communities. I will say that, but am I being salty? Yes, but it is what it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is essentially the, let me scroll this down. There we go. This is our Maganec CB deck, or sorry, not CB, but Maganec's Tekkadan deck. Yeah, I will say it was fun to play. It was definitely a little bit slower. And I will say, like, we were playing against a lot of, like, meta kind of, like, decks, per se. I think the one that we could have potentially won if we had, if maybe we found, like, more stuff, like, in the beginning, was that CB matchup. But, nevertheless, I did have fun. This is a really cool, a cool deck to play. And if you want to try this out for yourself, I definitely suggest doing it because it's a really fun. It adds kind of to like that deck building thing that I think every like TCG player should at least try to do for themselves, you feel me? But yeah, if you haven't liked this video already, please give this a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'm also probably going to be live on Twitch later on today. So I will have my Twitch and my TikTok live at the bottom of the, or at the description of this video. So if you'd like to join, yeah, join and you know, deal with the craziness. That is my channel, you feel me? Then I would suggest doing so. But hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Later.